So good evening everyone, this is the Candid show body by host Krishna and we got Shriram here as a co-host today. So today we'll be going to talk about NFTs. So it generally means non-fungible tokens. As the name refers, non-fungible tokens means that it is not interchangeable. So like interchangeable, or it's not like other cryptocurrencies. So like it is not like Ethereum or Bitcoins. So basically the NFTs, to give a layman time kind of explanation. So like it kind of creates you own a product, and the NFTs you can using NFTs you can purchase the digital or physical products. So like you can you can gain a ownership. So like it is yours. So like you can have a ownership over the product, may it be digital or like physical. So like that is what NFTs mean in a very general term. And these NFTs kind of are stored in the Ethereum blockchain. So like this can't be exchanged, or like this can't be copy pasted, or like this can't be done. Like these corporate problems kind of is very minimal in NFTs. So what do you think, Shriram?
So again, Krishna probably gave a very simple kind of a definition, I suppose. I guess NFTs are just simply virtual equivalents or some sort of currency representing some sort of real world application or some sort of virtual kind of a thing, I suppose. Like anything, for this, maybe like GIFs, for example, it may be animated videos, it may be anything which kind of classifies under the term of art, I suppose, because again, art has such a vague definition. You cannot technically categorize something as which is art and which is not art, right? Because art is subjective to people. So I guess everything which kind of falls under the umbrella of art kind of has an NFT has an NFT of its own, I suppose. So to dive a little bit deeper into NFT, so basically NFTs are like very unique, very limited, have a signature on them, and are very few in a very limited run. So what does this actually do? The impact of this is that it creates something called digital scarcity. So the word digital scarcity is extremely oxymoronic, right? Because when you think about it, all of the modern creations or all of the digital creations which did right now in the world, are infinite in capacity. There is not any sort of fixed limitation to the amount of digital creations in the world. But NFTs create something called a digital scarcity, and that is because every single NFT in the world has something or some sort of a signature encoded to it, right? So it's every single NFT is unique in the world. So that's why it's called as non-fungible, as you told. Because what fungible basically means is that so 1 rupee is equal to another rupee, 1 Bitcoin is equal to another Bitcoin. So but in this case, NFTs come under the category
equivalent to any other.
Exactly. Yeah. So one cannot be equated to another. So that is kind of an advantage as well as a disadvantage in that case. So to quote a very famous example, I don't know, a lot of people have heard about this. So there is this famous digital artist called Mark Winkelmann, not sure about the name.
Yeah.
He also goes by the name Peeble. So what this guy did was he created a composite of about 5,000 paintings every single day, and he created one of the most famous NFTs at the moment, and the NFT was actually sold for a staggering price of 69.7 million. So it is
pretty huge, right?
Exactly. So as a commoner, you do not understand how that is, because as people like us, we don't understand or appreciate art, or we don't know how to quantify art. So everybody has this thought. So all of these images are available on Google, right? So I can instantly go download the image or screenshot the image, whatever. So why should a person or any sane person pay $69.7 million for an image? And the very simple answer was what you told. It gives you ownership. So what NFTs does is it gives you a virtual ownership of the actual product, as you told.
Even though the product is free for the public to
exactly. So for us, that might seem like a stupidity, right? Why should you stupidly invest 69.7 million into something which is easily available on the internet? But to collectors and to artists, this kind of gives them bragging rights, right? Because to some people or for some collectors in the art industry, these bragging rights mean more to them than the actual product itself. So that's
more than the pics and the digital videos. So more than that, as you told, the art as a whole has more value when compared when being discussed with NFT. So like they have more bragging rights, as you told. So and the another aspect we have to talk about is the royalties you get while purchasing the NFTs. So like you own a product and you sell it to a different person for some some much amount of money. So each and every time your product gets sold to another person, right? So like you earn a royalty over your product. So that is also an added advantage to NFTs. So like your product is so for example, if you own something, digital, you own a picture or an art. So like if you sell it to another person, right? So like if he kind of sells to another person, so like so the multiple kind of the transactions or like your product being sold multiple times, so like each and every time you own an royalty. So that is also a very cool feature about NFT.
I guess that's one of the biggest advantages, right? Because I think we as commoners do not get benefited by such an advantage, because think about it, because usually art is usually being displayed in art galleries, right? And most of the time, once the seller buys the art, the owner that is the artist loses originality or like the ownership to it, right? So in this case, there is this constant link of ownership between the artist and the art. So every time, as you told, the company or anybody or the purchaser who is using this product or kind of like displaying it or using it for advertisement, he's going to earn profit. So it's an incredibly strong kind of a source of revenue or monetization strategy for artists in particular.
Even though you can sit back and see your product being sold to various persons,
exactly,
you have multiple advantages to it.
So one of the biggest use cases of this, and this is really fascinating. So one place or like one region where NFTs are actually been applied to actually preserve biodiversity. I was completely shocked by this, and it was a very brilliant idea. So what the idea was about was basically that there is an organization called I don't remember the name of the organization exactly. So they have partnered with a company called Seychelles United. Seychelles, it's basically some sort of small city in Africa. And these people have partnered with the United Nations of Conservation of Nature. So what they are planning to do is that they are planning to tokenize these indigenous species in those countries as an NFT. So very unique, right? So you're basically categorizing a living thing or some sort of animal as an NFT. So what this does is, so obviously these NFTs are put to sale on an auction. So again, as a buyer or any sort of buyer, the bidding war is going to go on in any sort of auction, right? So let's say I buy that for about 100 million or something. So I'm going to buy one of the species of those birds for 100 million. So what this happens is this money flows to these organizations, and hence these organizations can kind of like use the money to build up good ecosystems, good sort of living, or basically enhancement of these biodiversity creation places, right? So what this kind of does is that, but again, this has a lot of problems within it, or like a lot of people have offense with it, this because you're basically selling nature. Like some people do not entirely board well with this idea of selling actual living things, right? But this is such a very good usage of something which is virtual, yet actually being a good source of revenue for these biodiversity conservation species, I guess. So that's something which was very fascinating actually when I first read about it. So that's a very good use case of NFT, as you told. So kind of like moving not near the end, I suppose, and obviously as Krishna told, the working of NFTs is, I don't want to go too deep into this because it's basically like cryptocurrency, just like we talked about it. It exists on top of the Ethereum blockchain and is usually brought and kind of like sold along with cryptocurrencies, because I guess the mode of transaction of NFTs is purely cryptocurrency, right? Because even right now, if you want to buy an NFT, you need to actually have cryptocurrency. You need to have an actual coin base or some sort of a crypto account to actually buy those coins and exchange those coins in terms for your in exchange for your actual NFT. So there are a lot of problems to this, a lot of barriers to this, because as I was reading through it, I instantly felt that there was a future to it. I guess there was no, at least immediately when you see it, you don't recognize the limitations or faults in the NFTs right now. So I guess one of the biggest problems with NFTs right now is that the volume of NFTs is too much. Because when you see, anybody can initiate an NFT, right? It's not like a few only selected people of society have access to this, to the creation of NFT. Even you can create, even I can create. Even this podcast could be a source of NFT at some point. Yeah. So there is excessive amount of NFTs in the market. But the issue is, there are not a lot of buyers. And the majority of the buyers who are actually there are very small in amount. So what this basically creates is that a small pool of buyers and a large pool of NFTs, and the majority of the contributions are exactly the money earned by NFTs is only by this small amount of people. So what this creates
is... I think that is time specific. I think this is the time it is growing. Right?
Exactly.
Like I think in a decade or two, so like buyers, the amount of buyers may increase in the market. So
true, it might
as you told, this problem may be overcome in the future. Yeah,
that's I guess the same thing happened with crypto as well, because as you, I think not all of us remember, across around in 2017, I suppose, crypto had this same boom. Like crypto came out with all of the fancy new technologies like blockchain, cryptographic encryptions, blah blah blah. None of us understood anything, and it just phased away. So again, this is another problem in itself. A lot of hype. That's the very big problem with crypto as well, because when it initially came, there was so much hype around it. Like people did not even understand the technology as a whole, but they kept on hyping up. The media also piled on top of it. They were saying
specifically Bitcoin. So like as you told, in 2017 it was a very big boom for cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoins.
Exactly.
So one Bitcoin now, we can say it is number of lakhs now.
Yeah.
So
about 50 or 60 lakhs, I think so.
So in a period of time where like 2009 or 10, right? So like a person had 10,000 bitcoins and didn't know the actual value of it. So like at that time, one bitcoin was equal to 1 rupee.
True.
So like I heard and I was very shocked. So like he exchanged the 10,000 bitcoins for one pizza.
Exactly.
So like that was very crazy to know. So like each and every cryptocurrency kind of changes. So like, but NFT kind of has a specific, you are the one who kind of fix the amount of your product or like whatever this you're selling online. So you have this ownership, you have this royalty towards your product. So the main thing next I want to talk about is about the ENS. So Shriram, what is www.google.com or youtube.com? So like these sites are actual addresses for those websites, right? So like Google or YouTube or Spotify, they have a specific address for them.
Exactly.
So if you see for this NFTs, so like whatever NFTs you create, so like we know that it is stored in the Ethereum blockchain.
Yeah.
And you are given a specific kind of code for your product which you kind of sell. So each and every code is very complex. We can't easily remember it. So like the ENS system, basically ENS is the Ethereum name service. So like this service kind of gives you a very easy kind of an address to locate or like to have a deep this address you can use it to identify your product you sold online. So like they give it like www. whatever the things you sold,
yeah,
or
some
like
sort of URL or hyperlink.
Very easy thing to remember. So like this address system is also one of the benefits of NFTs. So like this ENS provides you the direct link to your product.
I guess it is basically some sort of a kind of digital homepage, I suppose, right? Just kind of like an access code to your NFT, I suppose. Just like how you basically log into your account and see stuff like that in your normal cases. Here you have some sort of a URL or a hyperlink, in this case ENS, to access your NFTs. And I guess again I don't know, because I guess if it is a URL or some sort of hyperlink, don't you think it could be hacked or something? Because again, it is kind of like, it is obviously stored on some sort of a repository on the internet or some sort of database on the internet. Again, obviously, that's what I don't know. I don't know how safe it is to actually own an NFT right now, because when you think about it, you spend millions and millions of dollars on it. For example, a person who's bought that thing of 69 million who spent about it. So there's no security at all right now, in the sense that we don't know how the thing works exactly. So that there is itself is again a disadvantage, because the entire, you can't even wrap your mind around it right now. Like even we trying to understand it for the very first time is really confusing, because it is something virtual, but it is still something real, and it connects the virtual and the real, and there is actual transaction involved, actual money involved. Again, it's a very kind of like a confusing concept to wrap your mind around.
Crazy to understand this whole cryptocurrency. So like, as you told, it has its own advantages and disadvantages. So like we can also talk about NFTs in for gaming industry. So like if there is a game and you have all these in-game purchases that each and everyone can buy, but certain in-game things you can have, you can buy it as an NFT. So like you can own it. So like you have ownership over that product you buy in game. So like even if the game is not in the hands of the developers, right? So like you especially have the control or the ownership and the royalty to your product. So like that is also an advantage, and it has also helped many gaming communities to all these to buy all these kind of in-game purchases, or like as a whole for the gaming part of the industry. So like it has helped so much. And I
guess most of the game developers, right? Because obviously right now, like if there is an outfit in any sort of a game, you would probably own it, but millions of other people own it as well. So there's no sort of a uniqueness, or there's no individuality, right? So everybody has the same stuff which you have. But again, this NFT, as you told, creates that sense of so I guess one way when you think about it, game companies could charge infinite amounts for any sort of an outfit just because it is individual to you, just because it is unique to you, right?
Yeah.
I guess again that's again a double-edged sword.
The term of owner of the particular product.
Yes, so obviously they can charge you exorbitant amounts for it just because you are the only one who owns it. Again, I guess I don't want to dive too deep into this as well, right? Because I guess it eventually gets boring at some point. So I guess that should be the end of this episode. We've kind of covered a lot about it. We told what it is, we told how it works, examples of it, advantages, disadvantages, places of application. I don't think there's anything more to discuss. It will be only boring, I suppose. So that'll be the end of this episode, guys. So thank you so much for listening. Regarding the YouTube side of things, so if you have any sort of opinions regarding NFTs, or if you're someone who's more into NFTs, who knows a lot about it, please give us more information, comment down below, and make sure you like this video. And regarding the Spotify and Anchor side of things, make sure you go to Spotify and follow us on Spotify and Anchor as well. And regarding the Clubhouse side of things, we've been having a group there for a long time, even though Clubhouse is obviously dead right now. Yeah. Nobody uses it, I think so, but I guess still we have the group over there for some reason. So if you want to connect over there with us, the group is available. The link is given in the YouTube description. So I guess that's pretty much it, guys. So thank you so much.
Thank you.